Hello, Forecaster here again, and we are back for episode 206, and I have collected some um, soul sand right here, and it... oh, okay. Just about finished, and you can see that I think I showed the miner being set up for this. And if so, you can see that I moved it. Oh crap. Server's being super laggy as usual right now for some reason. Still don't know exactly what is going on with that. But yeah, so I'm going to collect this stuff through the lag. And we're going to head back to the base and see how the... come on. Pop off. And see how the... there it goes. The processing of the netherrack is going. I probably won't need to process all of the netherrack. Or I probably won't, because it's going to take extra time, and I might have use for the raw netherrack at some point, so it's probably better not to convert all of it into nether bricks right away. So I'm going to stop the process once I have the amount of nether bricks that I need, which I don't recall off the top of my head. You can see that lost some netherrack here, so we now have a floating cobblestone bridge, sort of, which might collapse at any point when I walk across it, if I'm unlucky. But we were fine this time. So, if the nether bricks aren't done, if there aren't enough yet, I'm going to, of course, have to wait, which I'm going to cut out, so you don't have to wait with me. It would be a huge waste of episode time. But once that is done, we can start reconfiguring the system down here for crafting the infernal bricks, or infernal stone blocks. So we have 1,800, and we need 1,800, or 18,000. We have 1,800. Confused myself there. We've probably run out of paper again. Don't know why the reed farm isn't producing anything. It might have run out of fertilizer. I'm going to improve that. In the new base, there's of course going to be a farm, and it is going to be more automated than my current one, which isn't particularly automated at all, really. I mean, it brings the products into my base and sorts them and such, but it doesn't supply itself with anything, except maybe saplings in the case of the tree farm, of course. But it doesn't supply dirt or fertilizer or anything. Probably go out and check if they have actually run out. I don't think I have any fertilizer stored. I think I've used it all, so I think that was one of the things I was going to do at some point, go and find more fertilizer, mine it up. I have 2 bits of fertilizer. While the crafting is going on, let's go out and have a quick look. So much lag. So we have reeds. Grown. And yeah, it's out of fertilizer, of course. Which is not great. This is also out of fertilizer. Is there any in here? No. It's also out of fertilizer. So we are all out of fertilizer. So probably going to have to try to find more of that. Fortunately, the fertilizer veins are usually quite significant, so once I do find some, should be able to get a pretty large amount of it. Because even though I'm not producing reeds, I make paper out of wood, but that also requires fertilizer, obviously, so I'm eventually going to run out of that as well. There's quite a bit of it currently, but not that much. So I am going to need more fertilizer. This crafting uses a pretty hefty amount of paper. Which is worth it. I mean, I really don't want to have to do this manually for 18,000 blocks of nether brick. So really I don't mind the cost at all. Ah, we ran out. I don't think this paper is going to be enough to finish this, not by far. Probably backed up on nether bricks all up in here. Yeah. Got so much nether brick. Nothing in here though. This has run out. Probably don't need to use this. I think one oven is sufficient. It's going to limit the paper use a little bit, although maybe even with one oven the paper will still be the choke point. I actually think the oven should be slower than this system, but since we are backed up, it's going to take a while to catch up. We're probably going to run out of paper again before we actually catch up. Thought I collected that. The soul sand is of course not going to be smelted or anything. I want to put this drawer somewhere so I don't carry it around. Let's put it in here for now. And let's hope that I can remember that it is in there. Put this away as well. I have a lot of batteries to charge again. I do have a fortune pickaxe, don't I? I think I do. Is it this one or is this the... Yeah, fortune 3. So I should definitely take this. And maybe there's some in somewhere in the mines underneath my base. Let's take the OV scanner as well, and we'll go on a quick mining expedition. I mean, I have carved out huge chunks of the earth underneath my base. There are these huge, huge chasms where I've been mining. Like this one, where I mined by basically a cobblestone and basalt quarry. Should be... Oops, no, don't want to go down there. There should be a way down to some actual caves. I haven't been down here in quite a while now. Basically since I needed all of that basalt. This area is probably completely void of... Oh! Actually, no. There's actually a lot more stuff here than I thought there would be. It's quite interesting. Of course, I'm pretty sure that when the drone used the OD scanner area, which is quite a lot smaller, there isn't any appetite ore, though. So, nothing at all. I don't remember at all if that prefers spawning somewhere specific. I think the veins are pretty far apart, so finding one isn't that likely, but once you do find one, they are, like I said, pretty large. So you'll be set for a while if you mine it out all of it. Also don't know what kind of depth they spawn in. I think they are generally pretty close to the surface, actually. Maybe not this far down. So maybe I shouldn't be looking down here. Maybe I should be looking on the walk around scanning the surface. I forget what... I think the radius on this is 16 blocks. So if I walk around the surface, that means... if it finds apatite, that means that within 16 blocks down and out from wherever I'm standing, there should be an apatite vein. So that might be a good way of finding it. I could also walk around spelunking into caves. It should also exist in the Twilight Forest, but I don't know if the custom origin veins are applied to that dimension. So it might not spawn in veins, it might spawn in the vanilla forestry configuration, which are occasional blocks, which I still think is not suitable for resources like apatite and the like. Scan here. Oh, there's actually apatite here somewhere. Oh, there's some right there. I'd completely forgotten about that. There's actually quite a lot of blocks in this area. There should be... I guess they are above here. So I'm going to definitely use the fortune pick, and hopefully it actually affects apatite. I mean, it should, since it's something that drops items instead of itself. So definitely a lot easier to find than I thought it would be. Oh dear. Air is bad in here. Even though we are relatively close to an exit. Oh dear. Let's get outside, get some fresh air. You'd think that there would be ventilation right there, given that we are this close to a hole, but might be that redstone torch there or something that negates that. So there should now be somewhat less appetite here. Still quite a bit though. But I wonder where the rest is. Probably buried inside of here. But I think this will do for now. I mean, a stack of it is pretty great. Now, I only wish that I had ash. Because the way I've changed the recipes is that with sand you only get 1 fertilizer per appetite. With ash you get 2. And I added... No. Dang it. I added Industrial Craft 2 ash as well. Because I don't see a reason why that shouldn't work. Unfortunately, I don't really have either of those. Not a significant amount. At least. So, where do you get... I don't remember where you get ash from Industrial Craft 2. So we'll have to use sand, of course. And we won't get very much fertilizer out of that, of course, compared to if we were to use ash. Oh. I am out of sand, apparently, as well. So, yeah. Let's do that. I'm going to throw some more, or throw some gravel into my rock crushers. There was some sand, some additional sand as well, apparently. So, can probably use that as well. Once I do pick it up, I have a block of cobblestone too in my inventory that I can get rid of. Turn that into gravel, so you can get 5 more. Dang it, stupid server. 5 more of you, and we're going to put this into... I think it might be better to put it all into the tree farm, because that does produce paper for me. Actually, I'm not sure which is more efficient. Maybe the reed farm is more efficient for producing paper. Not sure, actually. What's the recipe for the carpenter? 2 wood pulp is 1 paper. And you get 4 wood pulp per log. If you use reeds, you get 1 paper per reed. But here you get 2 paper per log. So probably the tree farm is the more efficient producer of paper. And the wood is also useful for a lot of other things. So probably a better idea to use that, to give that all of the reeds. I don't really need cactus or resin right now, so don't need to... That doesn't really favor that farm, so tree farm it is. Right, so probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to wait for wood to be harvested, paper to be produced, and nether bricks to be produced. Probably go out and find more apatite as well, and produce more sand too. And then I'll be back once I have the amount of nether bricks I need, which is going to take quite a while, of course. And we'll pick back up from there and reconfigure this to craft our infernal blocks. So, I will see you in just a second for you. Alright, I am back, and the brick blocks are not done yet, not by far. We are still missing more than 14,000 of them. And the bottleneck is the smelting of the netherrack into bricks, because we have caught up again. And yeah, I also was able to get a bunch of apatite from underneath the base. Quite a bit of it, actually. 3 stacks of apatite. I put this miner up to try to dig up all of it, but unfortunately, as you can see by this empty drawer, it hasn't produced anything, and I'm not sure why, because I have both the apatite item and the apatite ore in here in whitelist mode, but it has gone all the way down to 0, and it hasn't picked anything up, and I'm pretty sure there's still apatite here, so don't know why it didn't pick anything up. Now, I want to speed this smelting up, so I have made the components to make an induction furnace, like so. Hyperspeed achievement. So yeah, the induction furnace, of course, is an Industrialcraft 2 block, and it is obviously going to, well, it is hopefully going to speed up the production or smelting of the netherrack. Now my worry is that I won't have enough enough power output to power it. Other than that, it should be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange these hoppers a bit, because I still want to use the steam oven as well, at least one of them. So what I'm going to do is let's see. I had another hopper. Oh yeah, I put it on the carpenter that is making paper. I think maybe that is pulling out of there. Maybe putting it here might be best. Actually, if I just... No, I actually want the induction furnace right here, I think. Probably. Let's move you out of the way. Then I can reuse this hopper at the bottom to pull the bricks out of it. So I'm going to collect this hopper. Just don't need that there anymore. Can probably get power to the back of the furnace. Maybe. Let's throw a couple of those in there. I'm going to have that come from the bottom like that. And maybe what I can... Actually, no. Actually, let's do this. Let's reclaim this, which probably went in here now. Yes. We're going to put a vanilla hopper here instead. And then we can put this one up here. And then we are going to have it face that way. And then we can have that there going into the steam oven. And then we can put this there. And that is going to put items into there. Put all of these back here. It's also going to, once this fills up, which is also going to refill the steam oven, hopefully. Yeah. I might also need to upgrade these hoppers. So we also need some power, of course, and I do have a power line right here. So we're going to dig a channel for that over here, and it can come up right here, and we will still be able to access the furnace interface. Can you upgrade this ejector, redstone signal inverter, and pulling? No, you can't speed upgrade this or overclock it. So, of course, this is going to be slow at first, but then it is going to heat up, which is what the induction furnace does. And when it has heated up, it's going to be pretty fast. And hopefully that will significantly speed this process up. That is also going to increase the consumption of paper, which is probably going to be our new bottleneck, presumably. Now I might want one of those signal inverter upgrades, because you can apply a redstone signal to the induction furnace, and it will, even if it doesn't have any work to do, it will maintain its heat level using a small amount of power. And if this system stops and this backs up, it's going to its output is going to fill up, and then it's not going to be able to work, and then it would lose heat, which I probably want to avoid to maintain as high a speed as possible. So I need 4 tin plates and a lever, which is really cheap. I do have tin plates up here already, and I do happen to have a lever on me. So we'll just get that. Something like that. You can put that in the furnace. I could put the lever on the furnace on the back, but that would affect the hoppers around it, which I don't want. So I can't really do that. So the signal inverter upgrade is a nice thing. It's good that that exists. Now one of the other worries, of course, is that the hoppers aren't going to be able to keep up once this actually heats up, which means that I might need to replace all the hoppers with Papercraft ones and upgrade them. But so now that this is set up, I basically just want to show this being set up. We can cut again, and I'll be back when the work is actually done. So yeah, I'll see you in another bit. Hey, so I also did something about some other caps I was having issues with, or bottlenecks, specifically for the paper production. As you can see, I changed this setup a bit. I noticed that this line, which was previously entirely made of cobblestone power pipes, was capping out like this, turning red. So I upgraded it to a quartz line instead. And then I noticed that this was very low on water, so that was the bottleneck, and the water supply was insufficient. So I put in this tank, which I manually filled with fluid cells, which I filled from the water tanks up top. And yeah, it looks like with the induction furnace, we are actually outpacing the crafting system, because this stack here is slowly growing, so this will eventually fill up, because this can't quite keep up. Might need another laser here, and we can actually get one from downstairs. And at this rate, I might have to do the rest of this in the next episode, because I am actually running pretty close to the end. So let's steal one of these lasers. Unfortunately, I've kind of lost track of the episode length a little bit. I did get the laser. Let's pop up here, and we're going to put it here. Why not? It's not going to be too much in the way there. Oh, hello. Tiny baby zombie. Don't really want these. You can go down here. And you. But yeah, so now this should be process the packages faster, so maybe you'll be catching up again. Not sure. Yeah. It looks like we are crafting faster than smelting again. But yeah, so what I'll probably do is I'll end the episode right about here. It might be a little shorter. I'm not sure. In between, I'm going to keep the system running, of course. I'm going to keep providing paper. I might need to upgrade the hoppers. I mean, it looks like it's keeping up. It doesn't extract fast enough by the looks of it. So I might upgrade the hoppers just because, which is going to require making a bunch of speed upgrades and probably a bunch more hoppers, omnidirectional hoppers. So with that, I will see you in the next episode. Hi! Welcome to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button. If you didn't, click the dislike button, or leave a comment telling me either way, because any sort of user engagement makes YouTube more likely to show the video in searches or suggestions. Now, did you know that I have a page on my website that has a list of all of the shows I have on YouTube, even past ones, along with their respective publishing schedules, as well as a list of all of the past videos that is searchable by series, tags, or title. And I also have a subscription system that is entirely separate from YouTube's that allow you to subscribe to specific shows from me, as well as stream notifications, such as when I schedule or start a stream. So if that sounds useful, do go and check that out. There are links in the description.